Ladies and gentlemen, hello and good morning. I am your host, Leighton Pullen, and we are excited to have you with us today for Bridgewater College's One Day Every Eagle, our biggest day of giving all year. For the next 24 hours, Eagles from across the country are coming together for one purpose: to support our students and everything that makes the Bridgewater College experience so special. Whether you're passionate about scholarships, athletics, music, student life, or one of the more than 300 funds you can support today, this is your opportunity to make a difference in what's meaningful to you. Throughout the day, you'll hear from students, coaches, faculty, and campus leaders, and you'll see firsthand how your support is making an impact right here at Bridgewater College. We also have some exciting challenges and matching opportunities that will help your gift go even further, but we'll share more on those in just a moment. To get us started, I'm joined by a few campus leaders who will help make all of this possible. First, I'd like to welcome Tyler Bradley, Senior Director of Donor Engagement.
Thank you, Leighton, and good morning, everybody. What a beautiful morning here on campus today, and we're so happy that you have joined us. I want to just start by quickly saying thank you to those who have already made a gift today. Your generosity is already making such a difference for all of our students. We are celebrating our 10th day of giving here at Bridgewater College. Can you believe that? 10. You were here for all of them. You were. From somewhere around 100 donors in that first year to more than 1,100 last year, this day has become a staple of the Bridgewater College experience. We've rebranded as a celebration of our 10 years, truly highlighting the power of what every Eagle can do in just one day. Every gift we receive today goes directly to support the Bridgewater College experience. That means scholarships that make a BC education possible, internships, research opportunities that prepare students for the future travel experiences like our upcoming Rome trip, and so much more. What I love most about today is the connections, of course, that it always creates, and just how much it highlights the power of the collective. I was speaking with a donor yesterday, and she was so kind on the phone, as all of our donors are, and she said, I'm making a gift of $75. I wish I could do more. And I had to pause, and I stopped her, and I said, what an incredible gift for you to make today. And I just got chills thinking about it. Last year, 77% of the gifts that came in were fewer than $100, and we raised nearly $250,000 to support Bridgewater College experience. Every gift truly matters today. It's not about the size, it's about being part of something bigger than yourself. Today is a celebration of what it means to be part of Eagle Nation, and we are so grateful to have you with us. Now I'll turn it over to Tammy Steele, Director of Alumni Relations and Annual Giving, who will give you more information and is helping lead one of our most incredible days of giving of the year.
Thank you, Tyler. I like what you said, that today, one day, every Eagle, it's about participation. Everyone can participate, no matter how small or how large the gift is. So what can you expect today? Well, we'll be here live until 2 p.m. And we have a very special guest coming up at 11:50. You don't want to miss that one. Trust me, he's a lot of fun. You should follow us on our socials today. We have a fun segment on our stories called Keeping Up with Kaya. She's going to be all over campus, showing you some behind the scenes. She's actually behind us now, I think, chatting with some faculty members. And also at 4 p.m., I think this is going to be Tyler's
This is the best part of the day. I'm sorry.
We're going to meet some four-legged friends. That's all I'll say. So you'll have to tune in at 4.
Join us, 4 p.m.
See, he's so excited. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about our challenges and matches, the reason today is so exciting. So first up, we have our Eagle Fund Challenge, which supports our current youth scholarships. We have a $35,000 challenge. So that donor will match dollar for dollar up to $35,000 in gifts. The next is the Road to Rome Challenge. This is going to support the marching band and chorale, helping these students take part in a once-in-a-lifetime international experience. And that is a $25,000 for dollar challenge. We also have a $15,000 match for supporting the softball and facility upgrades. And Coach Pleskovich will be here later today to talk more about that. And throughout the day, we'll be sharing on our stories when we unlock these challenges. So I'll be so excited to share that with you all. So what are you waiting for? Join us at bridgewater.edu/Day of Giving, and you can select the fund of your choice. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Bushman, President of Bridgewater College.
Thanks, Tammy. Thanks, Tyler and Leighton. It's great to be here with all of you today. Welcome and good morning to Day of Giving this year, one day every Eagle. Tyler and Tammy have said almost everything that I could say to tell you about this day. It is a very special one. I want to highlight just a couple of points just to make sure you realize that for everyone on this campus, this day is special. It takes a village to produce the kind of experience, the kind of education that our students get here at Bridgewater. And when you think about a college experience, you think about athletic contests, concerts, musical performances, you think about commencement, you think about welcome week and coming back to campus, and all those are true. None of those would happen, not a single one would happen without the support of donors just like you. We used to call this Day of Giving, and that's not the best title because the truth is our friends, our supporters, our alumni, every day is a day of giving. We get gifts from someone every single day. But to focus on one particular moment in time is a very special way to celebrate what it means to be a part of this community. And so calling it now, branding it as one day every Eagle, is a much better way of thinking about the impact you can have today. We talk so much about scholarship support, and those opportunities are available today as they are all year round. It is the most important hurdle to cross to provide our students access and the opportunity to be a part of this great campus, to have the experiences with faculty and staff, to be a part of an athletic team, to be a part of the marching band. All of those experiences matter. But access is only the first part. Once the student gets here, we have to provide the very best, the opportunities that will shape them, not just while they're here, but for the rest of their lives. And we know that those experiences are meant to ensure success during their 4 years on campus and guarantee success, economic, professional, personal fulfillment, to guarantee all of that after they graduate. I have the unique position of being able to see current students every single day, and on most days I see former students, I see alumni, and that is it's a humbling position to be in. And I will tell you, your participation in One Day Every Eagle makes you a part of that community as well, part of the fabric of what it means to be the Bridgewater College community. Tyler said it, we use the word connections, they're on our flags around campus. We use that word a lot. And there's a reason for that. Connections is what best describes how we can achieve great things. Participation today, one day supporting every Eagle, is a way to be connected to this campus, not just today, not just next month, not just next year, but in perpetuity. It's a way of being a part of the college campus. So I'm grateful for all that you have done for us. I'm grateful for all that you will do for us. I want to make this 10th anniversary of this event the very best it's ever been. I want to see participation like we've never seen before. That's what matters. Tammy and Tyler are right. Every gift matters, regardless of participation, being a part of community. It signals your support of what we do. It affirms your trust in our commitment to serving our students. And maybe most importantly, it reminds our students that they're part of something important, part of something that goes well beyond their time here on this campus. If you haven't made your gift yet, I hope you will soon. Today is a very special day. The things we do together can never be matched by working alone. The most important things we will ever do, we do in community. One day every Eagle. Be a part of it, everybody. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, President Bushman, and thank you to Tammy and Tyler for joining us here. Dr. Bushman will join us a little bit later on, right before we sign off around 2 o'clock, so make sure you stay with us all day long. And you heard it here. Today is about impact, participation, and the power of coming together as one Eagle community. If you haven't made your gift yet, now is a perfect time to do so. Make sure you visit bridgewater.edu/dayofgiving and support what you love most about Bridgewater College. We've got an exciting day ahead. Coming up next, we'll hear from first-year golf head coach Nick Schlickenrider and discuss how he's been able to find success in his first season at the helm of the Eagles men's and women's golf program. Stay with us. We'll be back right here on Bridgewater College Day of Giving.
When we lowered our tuition price, most people couldn't believe what we were doing. Truth is, it's pretty simple. We believe that students and families should know the real cost of a Bridgewater education, so you can be confident exploring the real value of a Bridgewater education. Our faculty and staff are committed to your success while you're here, and our programs are designed for your success after you graduate. We'll know you by name here. You can make a difference here. We are BC, a private college education at a public college price.
Welcome back to our live stream here today, One Day Every Eagle. And our first guest today is a first-year head coach on top of that. Head men's women's golf coach, Nick Schlickenrider. Nick, thanks for joining us today.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So we're kicking off our first interview today with, like I said, you're a first-year head coach here at BC. And this is your first year leading the program. What has this experience been like for you so far in year number one?
I think the best way to put it is good form of chaos. It's it's been a lot, but it's been a lot of fun, and the guys and girls do a really good job. They've come in August and just made my life super easy. They haven't caused any of the chaos. That's mainly come from me, but it's everyone's been super supportive, from the whole athletic department to the school itself. Whenever I had a question or something I didn't know how to deal with, there was always someone that did, and it's really nice knowing that people are here to support you and everything that I wanted to do, and being able to put my own plans into action was really helpful and really cool to see.
Yeah, and I'll say, as somebody that has been here, I was here for 3 years, year 7 for me as a student, and now as an employee here, that the community piece and people always willing to help you out is a huge thing here. It's my favorite thing about Bridgewater College as a whole. And as a former student athlete, I know what it looked like from a tennis perspective. Golf was one of the ones I didn't always know about. So, what does that student athlete experience look like for your golfers here at Bridgewater?
Well, as we always say, the student part comes first, so we try to get the classes done and make sure that we all do our homeworks, do well in our tests, And I think if we all do well in the classrooms, it just frees up space in the mind to really get after it on the course and play as well as possible. The first thing is to take care of the things that you need to take care of, and I always say that being able to play a sport is a privilege, and that we should treat it as such. It's not a given right to be here to represent the Bridgewater golf team, and I want them to be proud. I want them to want to be here. And there are a few things that we need to do first before we get to practice.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it is, like we said, one day every Eagle. I've always called it Day of Giving, so it's going to be hard for me to get used to. You're the first one. I'm kind of trial testing that one. But for your alumni and supporters tuning in today or wanting to support you all, what would you ask them to do, and what can they do to help support both the men's and women's programs?
I mean, at the moment, the links are up on all the socials. We have many different ways we want to spend the money, or with the rankings going up and being able to get into better tournaments next year. We will be flying to a few events, which in case we need more money to travel. But the guys do a good job. They deserve to be playing in those tournaments and competing at the very highest level of Division III golf. So I'm excited. Every dollar, every support matters, and I'm very excited to see where we end up in the end.
Anything else to add?
I think that's it.
Thank you, Nick. And we'll be right back here on, I want to say Day of Giving. I can't do that. It's one day every Eagle here. It's the 10th anniversary of Day of Giving right here at Bridgewater College. Stay tuned. Welcome back to One Day Every Eagle, the live stream here. I am joined now by head baseball coach Ben Spots. And Coach, you guys, you're off to an incredible start. Yesterday, maybe not the way you would have wanted that to go, but you guys you're top 10 in 2 polls in the MPI right now. Just kind of talk us through this season so far and the roster and the guys and what you're seeing right now.
Well, you're right. We've been off to a great start this year, and I think that's one of the things that on paper coming into the season with some success last year, but a lot of new players in our program. that you felt like you could have this kind of year, and we've been fortunate to put it together with a veteran group who learned a lot from last year and picked up where we started last year and finished last year and have got it off to a good start, and put together a good schedule, a competitive schedule. Going out to California to play some good teams and having some success early is certainly giving you some momentum at this point of the year. And I tell our guys, if you play well, with the structure, you'll be recognized. So to have a third in the country in PI and to be in the top 10 in some polls is certainly speaks a lot to our program and the year we put together. But there's a lot of work to be done yet, and that's really the focus.
So last year you guys celebrated, a lot of facility upgrades, the Baseball 125 project that wrapped up last year. And if you haven't been able to check that out, you need to come to a ball game here. I tell people all the time, it's one of the prettiest places I've ever watched a ball game at, just the setting and everything. And you add in those upgrades, how has that impacted your program?
Well, look, it's been huge just as far as what we were trying to get. I have never done a project where I think that the beginning concepts of the project turned exactly what we wanted. And I think it was just an idea to try to put together facility upgrades that would really give a great game day experience for our fans and for our players, and really help us in recruiting. As far as a stadium feel for our facility, and we have a great setup with our turf, our grass, our settings great, our dugouts are great, our indoor hitting facility is great. We just a lot of things. And that was the next step we just needed to do to kind of complete that project. And I thought the support we had for that Baseball 125 from our alumni and friends of our program really showed through. And it's a great atmosphere, it's a great setup, and it can really aid in the experience for our players in their time here, but also in our recruiting.
So, you were talking about alumni connection there, but, how does the alumni piece, the baseball alumni network is massive. Mm-hmm. It's something that I talk about with Kurt all the time. And, anytime him and I go on a quest, he meets somebody that he knew. But, talk about those connections that you're able to build, not just today, but with all the different all the alumni that you all have from the baseball program.
Well, we're very fortunate here. We have a long and storied history of baseball, and really the 125 project was just an example of just trying to frame up the success of our program and the history of our program and the success this program has had for years. And I think that was really the goal behind it. You have alumni that are connected to our program that won a lot of conference championships, that played in a lot of NCAA regionals, and that are very loyal to Bridgewater College. And I've always said that if you say you played baseball for Bridgewater College, people know that it meant something because of the quality of play and the success this program's had. We have a lot of alumni that continue to remain connected to the program and are out to see us play. We were at Randolph-Macon this past weekend and saw several alumni that came out to watch us, which always means a lot that people make a trip to watch us play this time of year and to check us out. I think that's one of the things we're fortunate with the success that Kurt built here in the years we were here and what we've been able to do. So that alumni connection is long. It's rich, and it's a great asset for us when it comes to doing projects like our Baseball 125 and other things that we wanted to do. Our alumni stepped up and really supported our program and supported our current players in what we're doing right now.
So, as an alum yourself, what are some things that you like to highlight about Bridgewater College when you're talking to a prospective student athlete?
Well, look, I've got to always say this. I've been fortunate to have been here. I started here in the fall of 1993. And have been here a long time, and then had when I left to go to Eastern Mennonite, I was the head coach for 7 years, but was here a long time from 1993 up until 2012, and then came back here in the summer of 2019. So I've been connected to this campus a long time, and I've seen it grow, and I've seen it, but still maintain the same feel that this school has always had. So when you teach to prospective recruits, I think you just tell them, look, we are in a beautiful campus in a great area that can give you a quality experience athletically, academically, and do it in an affordable way for you. And I think that's one of the things that's a selling point, that I think we have the total package here when it comes to recruiting and what we're trying to offer prospective student athletes who want a high-level college experience. And I think that's one of the things that is easy to sell for me, and I've lived it. I've seen guys live it and have the success when they've left here. So that's one of the things that for me, it makes it an easy sell.
You have anything else to add?
Well, look, I'm just excited for the year we've had, excited for the support that our administration gives us. I'm excited for the support of our alumni and any donations that we can receive. Look, there's always a need, whether it's a big project like our Baseball 125 or whether it's items that our players need, whether it's, with our hitting facility, we have several pitching machines that we're always looking to upgrade, whether it's, equipment for our program and our players. There's always needs we have, so every dollar makes a difference and is appreciated, and it goes directly to help our players and continue the success we've had. So I'm always appreciative of that and thankful for those who give back to us.
Well, thank you, Coach, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Well, good luck today.
Thank you.
Good luck
Another
today,
game today.
taking on Mary Baldwin today. If you want to come down and check out the Baseball 125 project we were just talking about, head on down here, 4 o'clock today, first pitch against Mary Baldwin. Well, thank you, Coach. And we'll be right back. And it's going to be head football coach Scott Lim will join us next on the live stream. Welcome back to One Day Every Eagle here on the live stream. I am now joined by head football coach Scott Lim. And, Coach, thanks for joining us this morning. And I understand you guys wrapped up spring ball just a little bit ago. How was that? How'd that go? And what did you like from what you saw in the spring?
Yeah, so our spring has transitioned from what a lot of our alumni experienced in the last 3 years. We've been able to wear helmets and shoulder pads, and so we've got some new staff members in place, and so installing a new offense with bringing Coach Kevin Saxton on board, and then just the opportunity to work with our guys. We got 16 practices, and we practiced for 15 and then had a fun competition on the 16th right before the college took a break last week. And you always get an opportunity to see the beginning of what your 2026 team is going to look like.
So, you already talked about what some of the preparations have looked like as you guys transition into that 2026 fall season. You said you have a new offensive coordinator. What are some of the other preparations that you guys are making heading into next fall?
Yeah, so our guys have been working since January with Coach Papin, our strength and conditioning coach here at Bridgewater College, and really working hard. So you start to see the physical changes that guys are making, the adjustments, and now you get to see those things carried out as far as the sport goes. And that part's always exciting. You get to see first-year guys who – at the end of the season, we're starting to show some promise, maybe some play to begin to take on larger roles. And I think as you think of college as such a transitional time for people, you get to physically and visibly see the transition that they're making in their sport, and then also that you get to see the bonds that have been built over the course of a year, especially in your first year players, now that they know each other better, they've lived amongst each other for a longer time, and so and they've had a little bit more downtime. Our fall athletes have a sprint to start their school year off.
Yeah, that's one thing. So as a spring student athlete, when I was here, like in tennis, we had kind of a fall season, but it was like you guys, you get here and you're pedal to the floor right away. It's a sprint. That's the best way I've ever heard it described.
Sure. Yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. And we this year we report August 11th. Our first game's Friday, September 3rd, up in Owings Mill against Stevenson, and it'll be some long days for our guys. And you as you take yourself back for our alumni watching to their transition into college, you have practice and meetings and in a new environment for 12 hours a day, and then you start off into classes. You're in new dorms. The classes are challenging, and so I think for our players in the spring, especially our first year guys, the spring really becomes a time to take a breath. Mm-hmm. And so it's been good to see some of the transitions that they've been able to make in both in their personalities and the leadership that gets shown from them, because you're so focused on those 10 games when the fall rolls around.
So you talked about alumni and tradition a little bit. I know you guys have it. There's a pretty big milestone coming up. It's going to be 25 years since the Stag Bowl team this season. What do the alumni and what does tradition mean to this program?
Yeah, I think it means a lot, especially for me included, having followed Mike Clark and the success that he had in the program, but then also getting to see connections and from players that played prior to him. Living here in Bridgewater, Ronnie Howard is a name that most Eagle fans know as being a Hall of Fame running back, and to get around his class of players from the 90s and to know the connections that were built, it really reinforces why we recruit and the experience that we have as far as being college athletes and the importance that goes along with that, and the academic rigor that our players are going to have, but just the bonds that get built. That I see a lot of 40-year-old men like me that when they get back to campus are back to being 20 and 21 again as they get around their teammates, and people are back to nicknames as opposed to maybe what they're called in their office or at their daily job.
Yeah, that's one thing. You always see that, especially with your alumni base when they're back here on Saturdays down in the tailgate lot. The few times I've actually been able to go down there with all the things that go into a football Saturday, you see it all across campus when your alumni are here. Like that base it's a large one. But just talk to Ben about his. Yours is equally as widespread, which it's always fun to see.
Sure, yeah, and that era you talked about of the Stag Bowl era, and for Coach Clark in that time where 5 straight playoff appearances, 4 straight conference titles. I think I have that right on my history. You can correct me if not, Layden, but as a true historian of our programs. But you just think of the success that those men had, and so many are a lot like me in life right now, and in their mid-40s, their kids are moving through sports, so they're not getting back to campus quite as frequently as maybe what they were as young alumni. But then even to see our young alumni out and just the pride that they have in the players as they go out and perform on Saturday, and the experience that this place has really become as we've added tailgating and what a game day atmosphere is like back at the stadium as folks come into Jobson, and just always an exciting environment as games are tight. That home crowd is going to be behind you, the raucousness of it and the noise, and our goal is that the tailgate is a great area. We want to make sure we're getting folks into the stands,
right.
and not just catching up there, but catching up in the stands as well, ready to cheer on the current roster.
All right. Anything else to add, Coach?
Just really looking forward to our season as it's coming up. We've got a great slate. We won't be home very much in September and October, but as we are looking forward to that place rocking again. And that's the best part about spring practice is, you can start to build that environment, you start to build that mindset, and it really gets you pumped up. And as our players go through the summertime, I hope they have that same energy as they train. And we're looking to put another great Bridgewater football team back out on the field this fall.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thank you, Leighton.
Yep. And stay tuned. Jarrett Smith, the Director of Admissions. He'll join us next.
When I think about the school, I think about the college as a whole. Obviously, we have beautiful facilities, we have wonderful programs, but it's the people that I'm most proud of. It's the alums that come back and visit and give of their time to our students in their clubs or organizations, or the variety of classes where they might come and share their insights about their careers. This community means connection. Our alums are connected to the faculty and the staff and the experiences that they had here, to the point where sometimes they're invited to weddings. Many times when they're having professional struggles, they'll reach out to faculty to try to get advice or whatever that might be. But I think our alums are connected to each other, and because of their foundation here at Bridgewater, that makes them connected to us. One of the things that I really appreciate about Bridgewater College is the really close relationships that you have the ability to build with your students. And so I think as much as the skills and knowledge that you give students in the classroom or in their clinicals or internships, you also have a chance to talk to them about their lives and things that are going on in their lives, and for them to actually see you in action and hopefully role model to them the integrity and ethics and all of those things that we hope our students will take out into their professions. And I think the opportunity for our alums to impact a student directly, I mean, it could be as little as $30 that could send a student to a conference. So I think people oftentimes don't realize that $1 here, $5 there actually adds up to real opportunities for our students as they exist on campus today. It's not always those large gifts that make big impacts. When I think about what does Bridgewater mean to me, it means something very different than it did when I was a student. It means opportunity and connection, and to some degree, a career-long, lifelong learning of friends that graduate every 4 years, people that I can lean on, reach out to, and who I hope they feel they can do the same thing for me. And so I think that's really what it means to me.
Welcome back to the One Day Every Eagle live stream. I am now joined by Director of Admissions, Jarrett Smith. Jarrett, thanks for joining us this morning.
Glad to be here, Leighton.
So, from your perspective, what makes Bridgewater College such a special place for students right now?
Yeah. So right now for students, it's all about connections. It's the connections with professors, the connections with other students, connections to their education and what they want to do life-wise after Bridgewater. Those connections make a big impact now, especially in today's society where it's less connections, sort of face-to-face, more connections digitally, and our students are finding those opportunities to connect here face-to-face and in person and digitally as well with folks.
So let's talk a little bit about, those connections and things as well. But so how does donor support, especially the Eagle Fund, impact the students, you and the office that you work with?
Yeah, so those connections lead to opportunities for students. It's opportunities for students to do research. It's opportunities for students to do to take that research and present it at a conference. It's opportunities to do internships and study abroad and participate in athletics. Those engagement opportunities also outside of the classroom in different clubs and organizations. And then my team is able to take those opportunities and connections and talk about it with prospective students to be able to share that story about Bridgewater and why it is unique and special here on campus compared to another Virginia public school or even private school.
And we've talked about, I guess, Dr. Bushman didn't bring it up. I was expecting him to. But, this is a thing more, I'm sure your office is seeing this more than anybody else. But how has getting real about the price of tuition influenced applicants from your eyes?
It's influenced them a lot. One of the goals of that initiative was to be able to have prospective students at their sophomore and junior level year in high school, as they're developing their list of schools they're interested in, to look at Bridgewater, see the value in the education, but then not be turned off by the initial cost of a price tag of $50,000+. That's a big pill to look at and a big price tag to look at, and many students looked at that with their families and they went, there's no way we can afford that. So now with getting real about the tuition and the transparency piece, we're able to have that conversation earlier with students, and we're seeing it on the front end of having more inquiries and more prospective students at the underclassmen level, which are resulting in applications for us this year. And it's been a good year in the admissions office. We're on track to hit our goal of 420. There's 23 days left till May 1st. Not that anyone in my office is counting, but that is our decision deadline. And we'll have some activity after May 1. Some late applicants and deposits come through for various reasons. They're late in their process. Maybe they've attended another school's orientation and decided it wasn't the right fit for them, and they come back around to Bridgewater and take another look.
So you're an alum from BC, much like myself. What does it mean to you when you see alumni showing up and supporting students in such a way, in such a way as today, as well as it being Day of Giving? What does that mean to you?
It means everything, and I say that not lightheartedly, because I was a first-generation student, and the alumni that were here and supported me as a student, it's important to see them coming back around and supporting the current students for those opportunities. And it's sort of that legacy piece, and the part we talk about is with prospective students that you're part of something bigger than just yourself, and you can see that impact as an alum here on campus when you do donate and give back to the college, but also when you come back for homecoming, you come back for different activities to be able to participate, and the current students see that engagement. It's an important piece.
Yeah, and that's, we see that all the time. I talked to Scott and I talked to Ben about the alums and what that means to them, and I know you being a football alum, that's one thing special for you as well. There's such a large community when it comes to that. I know that's something we talk about all the time here at Bridgewater.
Right.
In speaking here with alumni and supporters, what would you ask them to do today?
Yeah, so it would be to donate and to come back to campus. My kids Whitney and I have two kids, a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old. And in the fall, when we are able to make it to a home football game and be out on the field and to form that tunnel for the players running on, the kids get excited about it, right? And they see that connection back to campus. And so it is about connections and opportunities, and all the support the alumni and friends do today is all about that. It all comes back to connections and opportunities for prospective students and current students on campus to better themselves, to improve the situation that they're currently in. And it's a life-changing experience on campus, and it can't be made possible without the alumni and friends of the college.
Absolutely. Anything else to add?
No, I'd say it's a great day. Luckily, the wind is not the same it was as last year. We're not holding on to dear life here, and it's not near as cold as it was yesterday. So good job on dialing up the weather today, Leighton.
That was not me.
No, that's what you say it was me.
No, I will not take credit. I had a student worker yesterday at a softball game be like, oh, it's supposed to get under freezing tonight. And I was like, this might not be fun in the morning. But it's a beautiful day out here.
Yes, it is.
I don't see a cloud in the sky right now. So if you're on campus or near, come out and join us. We've got some activities behind us.
Right.
This afternoon we have two home games going on as well, and just come experience campus.
Yeah.
Like Jarrett was talking about, it is a beautiful place to be, and it's a life-changing experience. And you have the chance to make a life-changing impact for these students and prospective students as well here at Bridgewater. Jarrett, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, gladly, Leighton. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yep, and we will be right back here on One Day Every Eagle.
The growth of our graduate programs, I mean, we've only had graduate programs, I like to remind folks, for about, I think this is our 6th year coming up, so they're relatively new. Right now, it looks to be our largest year ever. Recently, we made the decision to go ahead and add graduate housing, so they're doing quite well. We're going to be adding the summer of 2025, a 5th graduate program in nonprofit management. The program will be housed in the business department. It will be following all the normal certificate elements that the national accrediting body of nonprofit management utilizes. It's also kind of a unique master's for us because it's going to introduce to the college our very first graduate certificate program. So we'll not only have a graduate master's program, but also for those that hold the bachelor's degree that maybe just want to take 3 or 4 classes, they can do that in the area and earn a certificate at the college. Every year, I think our graduate programs have gotten stronger. The outcomes assessment that we do every year in the programs shows that our students are achieving better. We're starting to get to the point where we have students coming now that know other students that went through the program, and they were the ones that talked them into coming. And that's a great feeling when you find out that somebody believed in a program strong enough that they're trying to get their friends and family to go through it. I'm really proud to be on the faculty. Our faculty are so dedicated, so interested in student success. There's not a day that doesn't go by where I don't still even have a chance with my colleagues to make myself a better educator. I'm not huge into social media, but when I do go on to something like Facebook, it's amazing to see all the things, all the old students and what they're doing now. It's a fantastic feeling.
Welcome back on this 10th day of giving. I am joined by Sandy Zook, Assistant Professor of Business Administrations. Sandy, thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And this is your first year here at BC.
Yeah.
So what brought you here to Bridgewater?
Yeah, so Bridgewater College has been starting some graduate programs, and they started one in nonprofit management. And so I came to help lead that program, start to recruit, bring students in, create the curriculum, and I just thought that was a really exciting opportunity to just be involved in creating something new.
So let's talk about that nonprofit management program a little bit.
Yeah.
So for some of us that don't know, including maybe myself, tell us a little bit about that program and just walk us through it.
Yeah. So we've started actually a bunch of graduate programs. And the nonprofit program, we have the Masters in Nonprofit Management, which you can do in a year, which is really fast. It's an accelerated master's program. Or you can do it part-time and take a class or 2 at a time. We offer 3 classes every semester. We also offer a graduate certificate in nonprofit management, and that one, instead of taking the 10 courses for the master's program, you take 4 of the courses. And so, yeah, those are the 2 programs that we're running.
So, I know you've only been here a year, or not even a year. This is your first
yeah.
year. But what do you see from the students in that program? What are the students like? Who are you seeing interested in a program like this?
Yeah. The nonprofit management program is great because we're getting a lot of students who are wanting to do that +1 year. So they've just graduated with their undergraduate degree, and now they're wanting to come and they're wanting to get their graduate degree. But we're also seeing working professionals really interested in this degree. And so folks who are currently working in the nonprofit sector, and the nonprofit sector is so broad. You can be doing health, you can be doing human services, you can be working with folks experiencing homelessness. You can be working in mental health. Like, there's so many different ways. You can be working in a thrift store. There's so many different things that the nonprofit sector does. And so we're seeing folks who are working professionals. We're also seeing folks who are wanting to transition into a career. Maybe they've been working in government or they've been working in the private sector, and they're looking to do something that's really mission driven where they're giving back to their community.
And I understand you all did some work actually with One Day Every Eagle. So, what was that like, and how does that help your students understand, the community engagement projects that may come with it, and especially at the nonprofit level?
Yeah. So one of the big things that is our goal in the program, and this is why the nonprofit program is so great, is like we want to get engaged with the community. That's really important to us. And so doing projects with real nonprofit organizations, bringing that into the classroom space is a huge cornerstone of the program. And so with the One Day Every Eagle, this gave the students a chance to see what happens on a day of giving and all the work that goes into making this day today happen, that it doesn't just start like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Like, the planning starts months and months in advance in order to make all of this work. The part that my students took ownership of was helping to revamp the advocate toolkit. So all the social media posts that you're seeing out there, my students really worked to figure out what kind of language would our advocates want to be using, what kind of hashtags should they be using, how often should they be posting, and also they came up with the concept for the posting challenge that we're doing. And so, like, posting a picture from when you were in school, posting a picture, and so like thinking about ways to get folks engaged through social media with the day.
And that's something I've noticed this year. Not even not just plugging it because you talked about it, but it's something I've noticed. I was looking through, as one does, you're here in between segments, and like I'm seeing it from not only teams posting it, but there's coaches, there's students, there's just students that are people that may not necessarily be part of whatever program it is, but they're still posting about it. And I think that's something that it's a tool that we should be using for sure. As somebody that's a communication professional, I guess, technically, it's something I see, and it's like, we should be doing more of it. And it's been a great thing to see, I think.
Well, and I think, we really need to credit Tammy and Tyler for their vision with this. And so my students are just doing, like, creating a piece of their vision, and they've been really great at getting folks engaged as advocates, and then like helping to like facilitate that process of getting those posts out there.
Nice, very nice. Anything else to add?
No, I'm really excited to be a part of the BC family. It's been a great first year here at Bridgewater College, and I'm excited for year 2 and seeing how the nonprofit program just continues to grow.
All right, well, we're glad to have you. Thanks for joining us this morning, and we'll be right back here on the Day of Giving live stream. Head women's soccer coach Mike Van Horn will join us next. Welcome back to this 10th annual Day of Giving. I am now joined by head women's soccer coach Mike Van Horn. Coach, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
So, what makes this program special for you and your student athletes and incredibly engaged with your alumni? You guys have, I don't know how many challenges you've won. I know you're very competitive when it comes to it, but what is that alumni engagement like for you?
I think our girls do a good job of, when they're here, really building a bond that lasts past just the 4 years they play. So when we have these challenges laid out in front of us on the Day of Giving, our girls still find a way to compete as alumni and try to help our program set themselves apart from the other programs here at Bridgewater. So the alumni do a really good job of stepping up and helping us win those challenges, and we're in a dogfight today, so we need those alumni to get going and start donating today.
So you guys, it was last summer, correct, that you all went to Italy this past summer?
Yeah, we went this past August.
This past August, summer, August, it depends on who you ask. But what was that trip like, and what are the benefits that you see when you guys are able to take trips like that?
Yeah, that's a huge experience for the team. I've done that trip now 6 times. How close the team becomes on that trip when they're spending 10 to 12 days together in a different countries, experiencing their culture, getting to play some professional teams over in Europe. The girls come back way tighter than what they were when we left. It also gives us a huge advantage in playing. It puts us together maybe 2.5 weeks prior to preseason, and then you had preseason on that. So by the time we got to our first game, we've been together almost a month, and that's a huge advantage for our team versus the other teams that are not doing those trips.
So let's talk about last season a little bit. It was a memorable one. I have all the notes here in front of me, but I don't want to go into it. I want to hear you talk about this last season. You guys made a return trip back to the NCAA tournament. Second time you've done that as a head coach. And you also had your first All-American in program history in Lyric Berkeley. Just talk about what the 2025 season was like for you all, and just go through that a little bit for us.
Yeah, I think the 2025 season was definitely one to remember. Statistically, we were in the top 1 or 2 categories in almost every statistic. Again, coming back from that Europe trip, our first game was against Carnegie Mellon, which was number 16 in the country. We have never beaten them in our program history, and we came out and won that game 1-0. So right from the get-go, I was super excited after that game. Even the girls were like, "Coach, you're a little more giddy than usual on a win." And I just knew what that win meant for us in the sense of the big picture of the NCAA tournament and stuff like that. And then we continued to roll off wins. And I think the girls really started to find that belief in themselves that, hey, we can do this. And it never lost focus, and we finished really strong in the back end of the season to solidify that at-large bid to get into the NCAA tournament. And then I think, just talking about Lyric as a whole, to see the growth that she has done over her 4 years, and then to get the recognition of an All-American for herself and as well for our program was a pretty special moment for me as well. I know she gets the credit for that, but as much time as the coaching, the athlete training staff, the support staff we pour into these student athletes, for them to get that recognition, just extremely proud of her and proud for the program that we were able to produce a player of that caliber.
So I know you were talking about getting ready to go on a recruiting trip here shortly. When you're pitching Bridgewater College to a prospective student athlete, what are some things that you like to highlight about the college itself?
Well, I think the college itself is the first one is just the look of the college. For me, I wanted a school that has boundaries and has kind of a colonial look, and Bridgewater is very picturesque in that sense. I think the faculty is really special here in the sense that they do a really good job of working with the student athletes and being flexible with them, just because of the amount of student athletes that we do have, and they have to leave for games and stuff like that. The professors work with the student athletes really well in that sense. And then I think for me personally, just working here, the 18 years that I've worked here, the people I get to work with and interact with, I think the community here is pretty special. I have lunch with probably 6 to 10 coaches every day, and a lot of places or a lot of other coaches I talk to don't have that camaraderie within the staff, and I think that's pretty special as well.
Anything else to add?
No, I would just say, hey, keep donating, even if it's not to my program, but to other programs or other, not institutions, but programs within the department, education departments and stuff like that. Like, all that money is going to help our student and our student athletes have a better experience here at Bridgewater during their time. So keep donating. We got probably about 24 more hours to go, all the way till tomorrow at noon. So keep clicking those buttons and keep donating the money.
Yep, as Coach said, it goes to a good cause. No matter where you're donating to at Bridgewater College, it impacts the student experience tremendously. Well, Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yep, and we'll be right back here on One Day Every Eagle. It's the 10th annual Day of Giving.
I've talked to a couple different organizations so far. I'm a business administration major, so kind of looking for a more marketing style or something like that. So I've talked to Enterprise, I've talked to some digital marketing major. It's been really fun, and I think that having something like this on campus is really interesting because you get an opportunity to talk to companies without having that kind of fear of applying and having to sit down and have an interview. You can really talk to people, and they're usually really honest, and you get a really good feel of what the company is.
I think it's a good experience to come here today, talk to a few different companies, get the perspectives and on what they're trying to give us and the opportunity they're giving us. And I think I came in prepared.
I feel like Bridgewater has prepared me for this by the classes we have and the professors being really open and willing to talk to you and kind of setting you in the right path, and then allowing us to have this on campus is just an amazing experience that, you know, not all universities and colleges get to have.
Welcome back on our 10th annual Day of Giving here at Bridgewater College. I am joined by current student Chris Schultz. Chris, thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So, is your time at Bridgewater's drawn to a close? We're in April now. You know, what's one word that you would choose to describe the Bridgewater experience?
I think for me over the past 4 years, the one word would be development, just because of the experiences on campus through athletics. I've been on the men's swim team for the past 4 years. I'm a health exercise science major, so those courses can be a little vigorous at times. So there's just been a lot of growth that I've been able to experience and have faculty and professors be able to support me through that time.
Speaking of that growth, what are some things that you've seen, yourself grow since you've been here, since day one?
I think one of the major things is just independence. We have the support from faculty and academics and through our athletic department, but there is that sense of kind of building your own identity and allowing yourself to engage in different things and fail forward and have those different experiences.
So if you were to pick one experience, one moment here at BC that stands out the most to you, what would that be and why?
I think my time working as a SOAR mentor or orientation leader has been one of those moments, just because being thrown in a room with 20 first-year students is a little unique and a little different. Comes with its challenges, but being able to do that gets you out of your comfort zone very, very quickly and allows you to build skills that are applicable into life even after school here.
So speaking of after school, I don't want to scare you a little bit. It is coming. What are your plans after graduation?
Yeah, so it's not so scary for me anymore. All the pieces have kind of fallen into place. I was offered a full-time job at UVA Health, so I accepted a position in the pediatric emergency department as a tech. So I'll be doing that for a year, and then I plan to apply into the Masters of Nursing at UVA as well.
Very nice, very nice. So, you're a current student here, and you were a swimmer, so you also see how donor support impacts that as well. Why should alumni and friends of the college consider supporting us, especially today?
Yeah, I think donor support is a huge thing. Not only does it allow us to be able to continue to do classes with a lower tuition and leave school with a low amount of debt, but even our abroad May terms or abroad study abroads that we have, there's a lot of support in that. I had the opportunity to go to Spain for 2 weeks in my Spanish minor and do some work over there. That was a lot of fun. And without donor support and people just caring about our education and our experiences, that wouldn't have been possible.
Anything else to add?
I don't think so, no.
All right. Well, you had a lot of practice with the microphone yesterday in DC Flores' birthday bash. I hope this was a little less stressful for you.
Yeah, not as loud. So
not as loud.
It's a lot nicer.
I did have to take some of the earplugs. I didn't put them in yesterday, but I did take some.
Oh, yeah.
Just to have. But anyway, Chris, thanks for joining us, and congratulations. I know graduation, it's just around the corner. So congrats on landing plans after graduation.
Thank you.
That's always a big thing. So
sure.
Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back here on the Day of Giving live stream.
Whether you've just dropped off your student or supporting their college journey as a commuter, this is a significant milestone. It's a time filled with a mix of emotions, excitement, anticipation, and perhaps a touch of anxiety. I know for some this transition can feel overwhelming, but I want to assure you that you're not alone. Many parents before you have walked in your shoes and found their own path to supporting their student. You might remember me from some of the orientation events we've hosted for families this summer. I'm Leslie Frere, the Vice President for Student Life here at BC, and I want to extend a warm welcome to the Bridgewater College family. We understand that this chapter is filled with both joy and uncertainty, and we're here to support you and your student every step of the way. College is a time of incredible growth and discovery. While it won't always be easy, the rewards are immeasurable. Our dedicated team is committed to helping your student thrive academically, socially, and personally. We're excited to partner with you as we support your student in reaching their full potential. Thank you for entrusting us with your child. I wish you the very best in the coming weeks and promise to stay in touch.
Welcome back to the Day of Giving live stream. I am joined now by Director of Athletics Kurt Kendall and Associate Director of Athletics and SWA Senior Women's Administrator? Woman Administrator.
Woman Administrator.
My apologies.
No one gets it right. It's okay.
Look, I tried, okay? But Heather Grant joining us here from Athletics. So thanks for joining us this morning. And putting up with me all the time anyway. But
it's a task.
It's a pleasure.
Well, anyway,
day, right?
That's anyway, back to the point at hand here. Kurt, first for you, what excites you about the future of Bridgewater Athletics? We've seen a few things come around, adding flag football, but what excites you about the future as we look forward in Bridgewater Athletics?
Well, what excites me most is the trajectory that we're on. Our athletic program's growing in ways that are intentional, student-centered, and future-focused. We're adding opportunities, elevating our competitiveness, and building programs that reflect the energy and diversity of our campus. You can feel that momentum from our new sports of men's volleyball this year, and for next year, women's flag football, to the stronger recruiting that's happening and the pride our students have every day as they practice and play in their sport.
So talking about that growth, I mean, it's continuing to grow. And for you, Heather, how would you describe the experience of being a Bridgewater student athlete today?
Well, I hope that our student athletes have this experience, because I'm not one of them, but this is always our goal in trying to create that experience for them. I feel like they always come here to be a part of a team, but that small team kind of bridges their way into our entire community. And that they're always surrounded by coaches and support staff that are investing in them. We're supporting them as athletes as well as students. There's a lot of resources here that they have access to. I hope they feel valued and challenged in all of those roles. I also want to say our student athletes as a whole, they're amazing humans. They do great things on our campus, and our campus shows up to support them and cheer them on. So when you have beautiful days like today on campus and we've got spring events, people are coming up and supporting them, and that's just a great atmosphere to be a part of. Our campus right now is exciting and it's vibrant, and I think athletics is just really proud to be a part of that experience.
So we have many coaches on our live stream today. I've just talked to Coach Van Horn a couple minutes ago, including newcomer Coach Brittany Jackson, BJ, I guess as she likes to be called. She'll be joining us, the head women's flag football coach. She'll join us here in a little bit. But Kurt, what can you say? You've talked about growth a little bit. Talk about that a little bit more, but you can talk about the growth and the trajectory that we're on here with Bridgewater Athletics.
Well, the growth of BC Athletics is exciting, one of the most exciting stories on campus right now. We've added men's volleyball this year. That brought new excitement. We're adding women's flag football, as I said, next year. And there are perfect examples of what we're talking about. We're not just keeping up with what emerging sports are out there. We're also trying to lead in that way and offer those sports sooner than others may think about doing. Our coaches are building their programs with a real vision, and our student athletes are responding with energy and commitment. For us, the future is about expanding opportunities as we can, and elevating competitiveness and continuing to build programs that reflect the strength and diversity of our campus.
So, looking at we're growing and looking at, shifting gears a little bit, looking at facilities and resources, for you, Heather, how do investments and gifts today, investments in facilities and resources translate into a better experience for the student athletes in the long run?
I mean, I think it's vital. It's huge. Every investment today and every gift goes directly to our student athletes. When we're able to upgrade our facilities, we're providing safer and more functional spaces for our athletes to practice and train in. When we can invest in sport-specific technologies, we're giving coaches and athletes tools to really fine-tune and enhance their skills in their game. That's essential to success. And we're also able to give them, exciting life experiences. We can invest in extensive trips and international travel. I was fortunate enough to attend an international trip last May with our field hockey team. It was an amazing experience for myself personally, because I got to go to a part of the world that I've never been to before, but also to be a part of that team experience. Some of those women's first time being on an airplane and leaving the country, and to kind of have that experience with them, with a group of people that I didn't get to hang out with a ton, but now I feel like I've got a great bond with them, and to be a part of that team experience was really exciting. And all the gifts today are going to help, Eagles today and future Eagles have those experiences too.
Yeah, I can definitely attest to that as a former student athlete myself, and getting to see the student athlete experience firsthand now, working in athletics. And Kurt, speaking directly to alumni and supporters that are watching this right now, what would you ask them to do today?
Well, if you're watching today, I'd ask you to lean in, make a gift, attend a game, share your story, reconnect with the program that shaped you. Every action, big or small, helps strengthen BC athletics and directly impacts our student athletes. This is a moment of real momentum and real growth, and we want that to turn into lasting success.
Anything else to add?
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles. Yep.
Go Eagles.
Well, as Kurt said, you were talking about attending an event. There are 2 home events this afternoon. Women's lacrosse takes on Randolph at 4, and then baseball takes on Mary Baldwin at 4 o'clock today. And it's D3 week on top of that here this week. So if you have a chance to come check out any home events, this is a great week to do so, especially since it's NCAA D3 week, as we celebrate everything that D3 represents and what it has to offer to the student athlete experience and putting that student first and foremost. Well, Kurt, Heather, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Leighton.
Have a great rest of your day.
And Leighton, you do a great job.
Thank you.
He's the best.
I don't know about that, but thank you. But anyway, we'll be right back here on the Day Giving live stream, and thanks for joining us. Stay tuned.
What I'm most proud of here is the fact that our faculty here, regardless of departments, are all interested in connecting students with that out-of-classroom experience. And sometimes that involves connecting them with pieces of equipment. Sometimes that involves connecting them with their discipline, taking them to a conference. I think where funding for us becomes really important is just being able to provide those kinds of experiences. And it's a great way for students to understand, not just understand science, but understand how science gets done, because they actually get to do it. And that's something that I think goes beyond the classroom. This is what we hear over and over from employers. They're going to ask, not what your GPA was, not what classes you took. They're going to ask you, what's the last project that you worked on, and what was the excitement of doing that project? The idea here is that we want to provide opportunities that allow students to speak to that. That's fundamentally what the engineering program is all about. Fundamentally, that's what the research experience over the summer, that's what that's all about. It's giving that kind of experience that students can talk to an employer about what they're excited about, what they got excited about learning on their own, not learning in a classroom, but what they got excited about learning on their own. And then how did it turn out? What happened? Whatever they learned from that process about themselves and problem solving, I mean, that's going to pay dividends regardless of what they do. I think there's growth in every program that we see. And I think the fantastic thing is that our faculty are focused on that. They're not focused on simply teaching their classes. They want to serve their students. They want the best experience possible for their students. And I'm proud of everything we do here, but I'm proud of my faculty in particular, making the experience about something else beyond the classroom. And that's learning in community. We're all part of this, and we all play a part of this. So that's what makes this place special.
Welcome back on this 10th annual Day of Giving. We're also calling One Day Every Eagle. Thanks for joining us. We are joined by some special guests with us right now from Lance Construction, and I understand we have some alumni with us today.
Yeah, my name is Jeff Devers. I'm class of 95, been a long time, but I've been with Lance for about 14 years. This is kind of like a homecoming, so to sorts. It's kind of nice to be in the community. I have a quick story kind of to tell. Wallace Hatcher signed my diploma in 1995. He was the chairman of the Board of Trustees. Didn't know it at that time, but I ended up at Lance Construction, where Wallace Hatcher actually founded the company. So I thought that was kind of a full circle. I thought that was kind of a neat story.
Very nice, very nice.
Hello, I am Ariana Murphy. I am Lance's Marketing and Communications Director. I am not an alum, but I'm very happy to be here and supporting the college today.
And my name is Seth Little, graduated in 2011. Also played football for 4 years, and I'm a project manager at Lance. Been there 8 years, and have gotten the opportunity to work on a couple different projects here on campus. One here at Rebecca Quad, and then the renovation of the Wakeman dorms as well.
Nice. So, Lance, you guys are great partners with us. And what kind of led to you all partnering with Bridgewater College?
Yeah, I can start us off with that answer. So Lance has a long-standing history with the college that spans over many decades. And as Jeff touched on, our founder, Wallace Hatcher, he was an alum, and during his lifetime, he gave back significantly to the college, particularly throughout the 60s and all the way up to the 2000s. And so we really want to, continue that, not only on his behalf, but also just on behalf of our overall philanthropic efforts here at Lance. We also have many alum who work at Lance, currently I think seven team members, in addition to many alums in the past over the years. And as Seth touched on, many of the buildings here around campus we've either renovated or built. So our relationship with the college really runs deep, and as a local business here in this community as well, we really do feel like it's our duty to give back, and we take pride in that.
So why do you guys, and I guess it's not really a you guys question, but just in general, why do you all think it's important for businesses to invest in local colleges and the students there?
I mean, Seth and I are products of Bridgewater College. And like Ariana said, we have at least seven alumni that we know of within Lance. And, I will say, when I started my career in construction, I've been at Lance for 14 years, but you go back, when I got out of Bridgewater College, one of my mentors was Dick Holsinger, who was an alumni. I'm not sure when he graduated, but he was actually one of my mentors in construction. So, and I worked with a lot of BC alum throughout my career. So I think, college is expensive. We have a lot of those employees that are BC alum. We have a lot of subcontractors and business partners. I mean, I think it's one part of being part of the community, and it's a network.
Yeah. And that's something we talk about here at Bridgewater. It's something Dr. Bushman touched on earlier, is building connections. It's one of the things he talks about all the time, and it's something that we really buy into as well. And it's something, having alumni back and having our partners here with us today, it helps with that. And like I said, you guys are here with us today, and what's been some of your favorite things? I guess this is more maybe geared to the alums. So what's been some of your favorite things that you've seen here at Bridgewater, maybe your time here, or just being back here today?
Seth, you want to...
Yeah, I think for me personally, there's two things in particular. One is watching the renovation of Rebecca Quad happen. I mean, I think that we would all agree it needed a good dressing up prior to the project commencement, and seeing what it is today is really gratifying for me. It's been featured on Bridgewater's Instagram page several times, and I just get a lot of personal satisfaction from seeing that transformation. And then, I touched on earlier the Wakeman Hall renovation. I spent, many nights in Wakeman Hall as a student here, and I remember walking through my actual old dorm room there in Wakeman as it was being renovated. And it was just kind of a full circle experience, because at that point in time I really wasn't sure what I was going to do for a career, but Bridgewater's given me that opportunity, and Bridgewater again gave us an opportunity to trust it in Lance for their renovation project.
And I'll add, as an alum coming back to campus, one of my first projects that I was worked with on a pre-construction aspect was Nininger Hall. It was nice to see that renovation and addition to come from. I would say Bowman Hall, as a day student, I was a business major, so I spent a lot of time in Bowman Hall. So it was really cool to, and sentimental to kind of come back and be part of that renovation project. So it's just kind of, like I said, it kind of come back at full circle. It shows my age that I think I've seen 2 renovation projects at Bowman Hall since I've left.
Well, it is, Bowman is very nice inside now. I will say, when I was a student here, it wasn't that long ago, but seeing it now, it's really nice inside. And once you walk in the front doors, just on the other side of the campus mall here, it's a lot to take in. It's new. There's the projector from the ceiling is what always gets me, because I'm like, where is it coming from? Even though you can see it, but it's a very nice project, and it's really pretty in there. And Rebecca Quad, that's something that it happened after I had graduated, and then seeing it now as a employee here, it is immaculate to see and to look at. It's very nice. And I'm just being told, so you all are launching a challenge, and we're calling it Lunchtime with Lance. I understand you guys are matching dollar for dollar all gifts to the Eagle Fund, up to $3,000. And why is supporting current youth scholarships important to you all?
Yes. This is our first year formally partnering with the college on this Day of Giving with the $3,000 match. We're very excited about that. We feel very confident that we're going to get that match today. And overall, we feel that it's important to support, the Eagle Fund for scholarships. And, the 3 of us, we all went to college, and I think we all know the importance of higher ed and the significant help that scholarship funds can offer to students and kind of help offset that financial cost for them. And in some cases, it probably could be a make or break for students on being able to attend. So we're just really fortunate and happy that we are in a position to be able to provide that monetary gift to Bridgewater. And this is the first year. It's not the only year we're going to do that. So.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And the Eagle Fund, we talked to Director of Admissions Jared Smith a little bit ago about that, and it's very important. Anything else to add from you all?
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles, yeah.
I could agree with that one. Well, thanks for joining us, and we're glad to have you all as partners here at the college.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for having us.
Welcome back to One Day Every Eagle live stream. I am joined by the Dean of the Rhodes School, Dr. Betsy Hayes. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. It's always a delight to be here.
So, can you share a little bit about the Rhodes School and what makes it such a distinctive part of the Bridgewater experience?
So I like to say that the Rhodes School is really the heart of our liberal arts education. Every single student, doesn't matter what they're going to major in, is going to take a class in the Rhodes School. So we are the humanities, we're the social sciences, we are the arts and music. And so our students have the power to think critically, define their oral speaking skills, and write and research exceedingly well.
Very nice. So what excites you most about the student and faculty that you get to work with right now?
So this is a fun time of year for us. We are right in the middle of Aspire, which is our period of research presentations. We are also right at the moment when the art shows go up. And so this is a really exciting time of year for us because this is the moment when people's hard work on their independent research, on their honors projects, on classroom projects come to fruition, and they get to share that with their faculty, colleagues, and their classmates. Some of the big news for the Rhodes School is that the marching band and the choir are headed to Rome next December to be both in the Rome New Year's Day parade, but also to sing in a number of the cathedrals in Rome.
Very nice. Very nice. So we talked about this just a couple moments ago with our friends here from Lance Construction, but you know, you've had a little over a year in the newly renovated Bowman Hall, and if you haven't gotten a chance to experience that, you need to come and check it out. It is very nice inside, but you know, you've had a little bit over a year in it, and it's where your office is as well, and you teach. But you know, how does that donor-funded project change, you know, the academic landscape for you all?
It's been really powerful, actually. I now know exactly which rooms are faculty members' favorite rooms to teach in. So as I help people figure out where their classes are going to be, but it's so distinctive. There are rooms in Bowman that have round tables that you can write on. I know Sandy Zook was just here for the Nonprofit Masters program. She loves those rooms because the students do all their brainstorming directly on these tables that are essentially whiteboards. And then they can tilt those up and present their discoveries or their presentations. They've become really popular rooms, those rooms with the round tables, with our English faculty who are teaching our CL 200 writing for arguments classes. But the other rooms are just as fun. I love teaching in a room that has tiered tables because I can move those into lots of different formats, and we have policy debates in that room. So each room has movable furniture. Each room is designed to support a sense of professionalism. And so, yeah, they're super great.
And you know, keeping in that same mindset there, you know, what does it mean to your students when alumni and donors show their support in such a visible way, you know, as Bowman Hall, but in other visible ways as well, like today?
Yeah, so for us, the key thing is making possible students' experiences to go off campus. So recently, our Model UN group went to New York City and represented Zimbabwe, and it was really donor support that made it possible for us to send students to pay for their registration, to pay for their meals while they were in New York. I'm about to send 4 individuals off to the University and College Design Association conference, where they're presenting their summer TREB research on non-Western graphic design. I've got students headed to Richmond or Johns Hopkins University to present research there in history and religion. Even small dollars that help my students who are taking the social welfare class with me to do projects at Open Doors, which is up at the Navigation Center in Harrisonburg that serves people who are unhoused. So all of these donor opportunities give us ways to get students out into the community directly.
So, I'm going to close with this, but I understand the Rhodes School may be looking at some new and unique programs. What can you tell us about those?
Yeah, so probably the most unique is a new concentration in composition for music majors. We have had really successful students do independent creative work on compositions, but this now offers them some additional academic support, some additional training and experience in composition, which is a major in other music programs, but affords our students a chance to dive into that area and develop their expertise.
All right. Anything else to add?
Thank you. I will just say thank you so much for all your support.
And that's one thing we can't say enough today is thank you to anyone that donates anything, any gift, any size. It all goes to a good cause in helping the student experience here at Bridgewater College. So, Dr. Hayes, thanks for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Great
And,
to be with you.
Yep, we'll be back here momentarily. We have some members of the senior class leadership going to join us right before lunchtime. They've got some special plans in store. Welcome back on this 10th day of giving. I am now joined by some members of the senior class, Meredith Shiner and Mackenzie Buckley. Thank you all for joining us here. I guess it's still morning, kind of, but thanks for joining us. So just start off, tell us a little bit about yourselves.
I am Mackenzie. I'm the senior class president. My major is health and exercise science with a minor in professional writing. I was on the field hockey team here, and after graduation, I'm attending grad school for public health.
I'm Meredith. I'm the senior class secretary. I'm a professional writing major. Mackenzie and I both work in the writing center, so that's how we met. I'm looking forward to graduation.
So before we get to graduation, let's talk a little bit about, I hear, Meredith, you just got back from New Orleans at a conference there. What was that like? And just talk a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, New Orleans was incredible. I was there for Sigma Tau Delta, which is an international English honor society, and I am president of our campus chapter of Sigma Tau Delta. I submitted some poetry that I wrote, and it got accepted for a presentation. So it was fantastic. There were a ton of student panels on research and creative works, poetry, short stories, creative nonfiction. There were keynote speakers. Jesmyn Ward was there. She's a National Book Award winner, and her book, Salvage the Bones, was our common reader. So it was just fantastic. It was a celebration of English studies and language and novels and poetry, and I just loved it. And being in New Orleans didn't hurt.
Well, very nice. And Mackenzie, as the class president, why do you see days like today being important?
Yeah, so I think it gives the whole Bridgewater community a chance to give back and be a part of something bigger than themselves. And for the senior class especially, it gives them a chance to begin this next legacy that they're going to leave at BC, what that's going to look like after they graduate and how they're going to engage with campus and current students.
So can you all maybe talk about it? I think you both have touched on it a little bit up to this point, but what impact you've seen during your time here from donor support, particularly scholarships around campus?
Yeah, I would say the biggest would be the new renovation in Bowman. I think it was our first year. The building hadn't been renovated, but during our time here, we've seen what the renovations have done and how the classrooms are more interactive and engaging, and just the ways that students there's multiple boards in the room, so it's easy to see everything and interact with other students.
Yeah, I always say that I would not be here if it weren't for scholarships and the donors that promote scholarships on campus. As well as my main scholarships with the school, I've received the Andy Scholarship for May terms and traveling abroad. So that's been incredibly helpful. And it was the Shoker Institute for Responsible Leadership that sent me to New Orleans. So I have been able to do so many incredible things due to scholarship donations and those different groups who are working to help students.
So let's talk a little bit about your class gift. So your class gift designation is going to be the Ernie Fund, which we all love Ernie here. We'll leave it at that. But, why did you guys choose to give to the Ernie Fund? And what does Ernie represent to you guys?
Yeah. Ernie really embodies the Bridgewater community as a whole. Everyone on campus knows who Ernie is. We see him in athletics all the time, at Bleed Crimson games, but we also see him at big college events like Homecoming, Day of Giving, Founders Day. So he really just encompasses the community at BC, and yeah, we love Ernie.
So what led you all to that? Was it just that love of Ernie being that figure that we all kind of identify with as speaking as a Bridgewater alum myself, is that what kind of led you all to that, being that figure that you guys identify with the college? Was it that? Was it something else that kind of led to that being your class gift designation?
Yeah, I think especially with the new rebranding of BC Connections, I think Ernie is definitely, if everyone knows him and we're building those connections through Ernie, then it's just a great way to represent how the community is so tight-knit here. And certain funds, not everyone gets to experience or have access to throughout their time here. So Ernie was just a great way to reach everyone in the community, and especially, even after, obviously, when we graduate, new students will get to experience more of Ernie.
Anything to add?
Yeah, I guess I didn't really realize it until after we chose it for our class gift, but Ernie is present at a lot of the admitted students' days.
Yeah.
And so that kind of being a lot of students' first impression of campus and the college, to have the mascot there and walking around and interacting with people, it's important and it's significant, and it builds those lasting memories.
Yeah. Well, graduation is just around the corner, so congratulations to both of you on that. And best of luck as you all go your separate ways once you're done here at Bridgewater. But as we say at all of our senior days, your times might be drawn to a close here, but you're always part of the Eagle family. So I'm sure the wonderful people in the alumni office will always remind you of that. Be happy to have you back anytime. But congratulations on that, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thanks for joining us. We are going to step aside for a little bit. We have some lunch challenges that I understand are going to be going on maybe on Facebook Live. We'll talk about that here in a minute, but we'll be right back here on Day of Giving. So we're going to step aside here for a couple moments here at Day Giving. Please be sure to join us on our social channels. Currently, there's a Facebook Live getting ready to go on. I don't know if it started yet or not. But what the class of 2026 is doing in the main dining hall just over my left shoulder here. There's some different challenges going on right now during lunchtime. There's a Lunchtime with Lance challenge. Don't forget about that one as well. There's a bunch of different challenges going on. Let's view all of those. Go to bridgewater.edu/Day of Giving. Remember, any gift, any size, it does wonders. It doesn't matter how much, how little. All of it goes to affecting the student experience here at Bridgewater College. Thank you so much to those of you that have donated. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to step aside for a little bit. We'll be right back at 12:30 as Barry Flo will join us, and I think we're going to be talking about some Metallica. Welcome back. We took a little bit of a break there. Hopefully you were able to tune in on social media to see what the class of 2026 was up to. Ernie was in the KCC. I don't know if you all had a chance to do that, but I am joined by some members of our Screaming Eagles marching band and just the band department in general. I have Shelby here with us, along with, I've been wanting to say the Master of Puppets all day because I kept reading my notes and talking about Metallica. And I told Tyler, I'm just going to throw in as many Metallica titles as I can pull here.
I like it. I like it.
But director of the Screaming Eagles marching band, Barry Flo, also joins us here. So, you guys had quite the year. You selected Metallica as your performance music for the year, and then you entered a performance competition for that. So tell us a little bit about that and what the year was like for you.
Sure. So we, I'll make it short. It's a little bit longer. I'm not a Metallica fan, or I wasn't a Metallica fan until about a year and a half ago when the marching band was returning from our trip to Philadelphia. Shelby was with me on that trip along with almost 100 other students. I started thinking about what we wanted our show to be in 2025, and I just kept coming back to the idea of Metallica. The problem being that during the time that Metallica was most popular, I was actually pretty laser focused on classical music, so I had to really reinvent myself a little bit and learn about Metallica. I knew a little bit of the lore of the band, but I really just deep dived into listening, and I was like, this is really, really cool, and I thought my students would enjoy it. As soon as I threw it by a couple students, they were all into it. So it was really one of my most enjoyable seasons in my mature career, because my long career, because it was new for me and exciting for me, and my students just really got into it, and it was just fun from the minute we made this decision to do Metallica until we made that performance video that we sent into the competition.
And I hear you all were trending, or not you all, more you, Barry, were trending on social media, and even got a shout out from the band.
I did.
I heard, or I have heard that there was something specific to that.
Yeah, I'll give you the quick backstory on that one, too. I was so excited about this show. My staff was working well. We were in design mode, and I just really got into the whole concept of Metallica. I studied up on all the band members. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but in the heavy metal community, there are a few tattoos by a few of the heavy metal musicians. So in a moment of enthusiasm is what I call it, I told the students if they did really well in this competition, I would commemorate this amazing season we were having by getting a tattoo. It was not a bet. Some people thought I bet them and I would pay if they did well. It was definitely not a bet, because I would never bet against my students because they're amazing and they've handled every challenge I've given them in 5 years. It was more a commemorative moment to put something on. I don't have a tattoo. This was my first one. But I did get a pretty large tattoo to commemorate Bridgewater Screaming Eagles marching band in this Metallica season.
You want to show us?
I would love to show you. Will you hold my microphone, Shelby? You ready? So anyway, it's an American style tattoo, tattooed, if I can give a shout out to Acme Tattoo in Stanton, Virginia. My amazing artist was Scout, and I just love it. I love the eagle. I put Metallica on there because I am now a true Metallica fan, and we also won some money in this competition. So we did so well. We came in second place in our Division 2-3 division. And that came with a $25,000 equipment prize. So we've already put together a wish list to spend that $25,000. And it's been a lot of fun. The band has continued. People who work for Metallica have continued to reach out to me about it. We had that viral moment, and my wife and I have accepted a ticket offer from the folks at Metallica. We're going to see Metallica live in Dublin this summer.
Very nice. Very nice. That's awesome. I won't claim to be a metalhead, but the time when Metallica was at its most popular, I was not alive. But
easy.
Hey, I'm just saying. But I get a lot of grief because my music taste is beyond where I am, and that was really cool. Like when you came out with you kind of said before, that's what the halftime show was going to be, and then it was phenomenal to see. On Saturdays when you all did it, and practices were also great when you would be walking anywhere on campus and hearing you all performing back at the the band pavilion back there just beyond the track in the stadium. It was very nice. It was very well done. Very well done.
Thank you. I will say, and I'm going to offer this to you, and I offered this to Coach Lem. I'm not sure he likes my tattoo as much as I do, but I did offer Coach Lem a challenge that I would give him the artwork for my tattoo, and we could change Screaming Eagle Marching Band to Screaming Eagles Football, and he could get the same tattoo. And I offer that to you, Leighton. If you would like to get a supportive tattoo for the marching band, I can. I have an artist, and we can get that done this weekend.
I don't think it'll be happening this weekend. Yeah, let's leave it at that. But anyway, so shifting gears a little bit. So Shelby, this question is more directed to you. You know, what does being a part of the marching band teach students beyond just music?
I think there's a lot that goes into it because first and foremost, people do it for the music a lot of times, but also they do it for connections. And I know that's what Bridgewater's all about, and it's very much prevalent in the marching band, especially I think for new students who are coming onto campus because, you know, it's your first time maybe away from home, you don't really know what to experience, but then you have this whole group of people who are here supporting you not only in your musical endeavors, maybe your academic endeavors, but also just being part of a new community. And we welcome anybody who wants to be part of the band and wants to be part of what we do. There's a lot of teamwork that goes into being part of marching band as well, not just from the leadership and the drum major, but literally everyone involved, because we are all working together to put on an amazing show for the Bridgewater community, for anyone who wants to attend football games, any of our showcases, and then people who want to be part of student leadership. There's responsibility involved, and that challenges you in a lot of good ways and really builds up character here.
So I'm going to stick to you here with this question as well, and Barry, feel free to chime in as well. I understand you guys are heading to Rome. I think I can't remember who it was. I think it was Dr. Hayes talked about it a little earlier when she was here just before lunch. But you guys are heading to Rome. What does this experience mean for you all as students, but then also, you know, for the entire experience?
Well, on the music side of things, we will be doing the New Year's Day parade in Rome, and I believe sometime afterwards, not too long after that, we'll also be performing in Frascati, if I'm not mistaken, which is a small town not too far from Rome. The parade starts sometime in the afternoon. It goes on for a while, but it sounds like the whole city's going to be out celebrating with us, so we'll be able to perform just for them and have fun with them at the same time. Outside of music, we'll be going on a lot of tours of the city. Rome is a gorgeous place. There's a lot of history involved in it, not just with ancient Rome, but also like to the modern day as well. So we'll get to experience all of that. I personally am excited for the food aspect, but there's something.
Shelby is also a history major, so this is right up her.
So excited for this. I'm brushing up on my Latin.
Okay. All right.
And I'll go a little further, too. From our perspective, Dr. Keyball is my partner in crime on this. He's taken the choir. They're going to be singing in the Vatican, and that's going to be amazing for them to sing in St. Peter's Basilica. And it really is an extension of what we do in our classes here. This is part of our teaching, is to teach students to perform, and a variety of performances and unique performance opportunities is why we're going to Rome. We did this in London. We're doing it here in Rome. We want to do this in 4 years. We want to travel abroad every 4 years, because this kind of creative, unique performance opportunity is just an extension, like I said, of what we're doing every day in class, and we want to share the talents of our students with the world.
Very nice. So I understand there's also a $25,000 challenge for the Rome trip. And we just talked a lot about the trip, but could you guys maybe touch on, you know, why these gifts are important and what they allow you all to do?
Certainly. There's a cost for the trip, obviously, and what we're doing today is we're trying to break barriers and level the playing ground so that every student can go. We do not want to leave students behind, so we're trying to make this as affordable as we possibly can. We have students who are struggling with some of the payments to go, and we're just looking for every opportunity we can to raise funds to support the students so that we take everybody. That's super important to Ryan and I, that every student is in my program and his goes on the trip. We're having on April 21st a little benefit concert by a brass band called Simply Human, led by an alum, Wyatt Smith, with. It's got current students in it, alumni, and they're playing at Redbeard Brewing on April 21st in Stanton, Virginia. And those proceeds are specifically going to go the cover charge at the door to help students who are having trouble with the first payment. And we're trying to just get everybody to Rome. This is an important opportunity, and we want to make sure that everybody who can go has the opportunity to go.
Anything else to add?
I'm excited for it. For everything next year, to be honest.
Yeah, we also have a great halftime show planned. Can we talk about that?
If you want to.
We are, last year was Metallica. What was the year before? We did Modern Broadway the year before.
Modern Broadway, and then my freshman year we did a decades theme, so 80s to what, 2000s?
80s to modern, yeah. This year we're calling it American Divas, and the first movement is going to be Madonna, help me out, Madonna, Aretha Franklin, Joan Jett, and Tina Turner. We're going to, in the second movement, feature 2 songs by Dolly Parton, and then the closer is going to have Lady Gaga, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, and more Aretha Franklin, because you can never have too much Aretha Franklin in your life. So my students are super excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're in design right now, design mode. So please come to our halftime shows and enjoy American Divas in the fall.
Sounds good. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
best
And the
of luck.
tattoo, we can talk about it off camera.
We'll talk about
but,
that off camera.
We'll set the appointment for this weekend, right?
We'll talk about it off camera.
Okay.
We'll talk about it off
All right.
camera.
Please help us get all of our students to Rome, everyone.
All right. We'll be right back. Welcome back to One Day Every Eagle. I am joined now by Vice President of Student Life and Dean of Students, Dr. Leslie Fred. Did I get your title right?
You absolutely did. Perfect.
Every year, I'm always afraid that I'm going to mess up your title. It's always your title, and I don't know why.
There's a lot of words in there.
There is a lot of words.
It's a lot of words. It's okay. I would be forgiving. Just say Student Life.
Okay.
You're covered.
Okay.
You did just fine.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and, how long you've been here at BC.
Yeah. So I actually am just finishing my 10th year, which is really hard to believe. Time has gone by really, really quickly here in that almost decade now. And I've loved it. People sometimes ask, like when we're doing interviews and things with candidates, why did I come here? It's always the same answer. The people, it was a great place to land. And that's what made me want to stay. It's been fantastic.
So from your perspective, working in student life, what defines the student experience here at Bridgewater?
Every campus culture is different. And I just love our students. Look, they're so joyful back there. That is part of the student experience here. I mean, the connections piece that we talk about, that's authentic. I mean, yes, it's part of our brand, but it's authentic, right? So our students are really well connected to each other. And as I say during all of our family orientations over the summer, we have staff and faculty that work here because they want to know our students. They want students to come to office hours. They want to get to know their students on a personal level. And what's fantastic is we've got the kind of students who want that in return. And I think that makes it really special here. Students are, they couldn't be a number and only a number if they tried here. We know who they are, what they're into, and try to support them as best we can. And what I love about our campus and the students that we attract is that they really resonate with that. That really feels good to them. I think we're also really good at meeting students where they are and helping them get to the next best level for themselves. And our students really respond well to that. They're just great.
You covered a lot of the questions.
Oh,
I had
sorry.
there. Well, no, you're good. You're good. No, and I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Is
That's
Jenga.
okay. That's okay. Try again. It's really big Jenga. I don't know if you could see that. It was really big Jenga.
Anyway, but as I was saying, I can't agree more with anything you've said. As somebody who is, as a student here, and then I've worked here now. This is my 4th year working here. I couldn't agree more with anything you've said.
It's because also I'm very agreeable. Yes, I'm always right. Ask my kid. Always right.
But, how does donor support enhance the student experience beyond academics?
Absolutely. So what we pride ourselves on in student life is enhancing the outside the classroom experience, and donor support is critical to that. So a lot of people who may not be as familiar with higher ed, they think, okay, well, kids go to college, they get a degree in a particular thing. Obviously we have an amazing faculty support system that will help students get that network that we need. But it's really important to us to make sure that the student experience is a vibrant one throughout their experience. Like, they're here all the time. Even our non-residential students are here a lot of time during their day. And donor support is critical to enhancing that experience. So whether it's in the programs that we do, the experiences that they get to have. So for example, I'm sure you were there yesterday for DC Florey's birthday bash, right? So it's an amazing experience. I shouldn't say this, but I have no idea the founding of my alma mater, the day that I don't know. And we can say that our students know a little bit more about the foundation of the college, who founded it, why it was founded, because we were able to put on an event like that. Right after this live stream, I'm going to go do Desserts with the Dean, where it's just an informal time to hang out with students, with student life staff, so students can ask questions, we can chat, we can whatever. Those things are critically supported by donor support. I mean, it feels to some people like maybe it's sort of an add-on to the academic experience, but really for us it's supposed to be woven into the fabric of the student experience. So really making sure that students feel heard, they feel seen, that we listen to them, and we can't do that without having those opportunities. So that's really why donor support is so critical to everything that we do.
Anything else to add?
Oh gosh, I mean, not that I'm going to take away from Director Flo, who could take up gobs of time. I hope he's watching, but I know he's not. I don't know that I have much to add. This is a great place to be, and I love having the opportunity to talk about our students and our staff that everybody gets to really appreciate, and so it's wonderful to be able to shine a light on that, and I appreciate having the opportunity.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
All righty. We'll be right back here on One Day Every Eagle. Welcome back. Here it is, One Day Every Eagle here, the live stream, our 10th day of giving here at Bridgewater College. I am joined now by the Dean of the Nolan School, Barbara Long. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
So can you share a bit about the Nolan School and what makes it such a distinctive part of the Bridgewater experience?
Well, excited to say we're one of the largest schools in terms of numbers of students. Almost half of the students are here. Many of them are engaged in athletics or in the other fine things like music and such. We have 3 departments: the Department of Economics, Business Administration, Teacher Education Program, and Health and Human Sciences. So that certainly does. I think our faculty being really dedicated at helping our students do real-world opportunities like field placements and student teaching, practicums and such, so that they get some real job experience before they go out into the world by themselves. I think all those things make us distinctive. Yeah.
So what excites you about that, about the students and the faculty that you get to work with?
Well, I would say what excites me the most is the fact that they are working together. I can recall times in my educational career where, I was a student, and when I left the classroom, that was really the last experience I had with the professor or the teacher. And our faculty join our students in community events. They certainly work together on research. They go to professional conferences together. And so they really are a community of learners, as opposed to this kind of hierarchy of a faculty member and a student, kind of being in that relationship.
Yeah, I was going to say I feel like I see it's specifically the students from your school that they're out doing things outside of the classroom and getting those experiences all the time.
Yes.
Like it literally all the time. I feel like if it's not only, here with different different departments at Bridgewater, different team, whatever it is, it's in the community as well.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, some of the things that recently Dr. Donna Hoskins had a number of programs where she took students in her various classes out to teach parents about parenting and teach daycare workers about teaching. I mean, it's pretty amazing to see that integration. It's really an opportunity all through the curricula, not just for seniors. This is your one last chance to kind of get that real world experience, but it starts from the very beginning and goes throughout their entire experience. Yeah.
So, you're the largest of the three schools here at Bridgewater. And what unique challenges or opportunities do you see happening with your area, but also, how can supporters join you in those efforts?
Well, I think one of the things that's really important to me is to help support students do those things in the community. And sometimes that requires some resources. Like, for instance, a goal might be to send all of our students to a professional conference so that they understand what it's like to be professional in an atmosphere like their discipline. And so, not everybody can afford to do that. So donors directly help us support our students to do things. We've had some students who have needed some additional resources to get to their student teaching placement just because of the expense and such for gas and everything. Donors help us with that. They help us with, giving us money to buy various equipment so that we can, in the classroom, make sure our students are getting the cutting edge technology that they need or resources that they need to learn the things that they're going to see in the world that they're going to be engaged with as they move on and get jobs. So, honestly, there's nothing we could do without our donor support. And that support's not always financial. I talked about some financial stuff just now, but it's the relationship that we have. We have alumni boards for our various departments. We have, alumni come in and speak to our classes about the experiences they're having in their professions. We have alumni that are outreach folks to prospective students even. So, donor support is a broad kind of umbrella of things that is absolutely critical to the survival, I think, of the college and to the Nolan School in particular.
Yeah. And, I'll close with this. So I understand the Nolan School may be looking at some new or unique programs.
Yeah,
what can you tell us about that?
Well, the faculty are going to be working this May in their faculty retreat on a program that is really aimed at making sure every one of our students before they graduate have some really unique experiences in the broader community, more real world work experiences. So we have some prescribed things in the curriculum, but these are some other experiences. And I'm going to kind of leave it there because we've got some work to do, but I'm really excited about the opportunity to, perhaps kind of forge a way forward that we can get our students out there and engaged even more than they are today, and perhaps even support our graduates after they leave by doing some mentoring. So we'll leave it there, but that's something that we have that's going on. I will say this is our first year for our Master of Nonprofit Management program, and I'm really pleased. We just had a meeting recently with some community members, and I really do believe the nonprofit community is really excited about our new master's program and look forward to the opportunity to continue to share information about that as well.
Anything else to add?
Nope, other than thank you very much to the donors. I appreciate all the help that you give, and I promise you every dollar matters, and every minute that you spend with us matters in terms of the growth and development of our students.
Absolutely could not agree more.
Thank you.
We'll be right back here on the live stream.
Students want the small college experience, a place where they'll be known by their faculty individually. They'll have friends, they'll have mentors, coaches, people who make a difference in their lives, but they think it's out of reach. The truth is, here at Bridgewater, we offer all of those connections, all of those experiences for about the same price as a large state university. Those relationships, the value of that is something that doesn't just make a difference while you're here, it'll last you for the rest of your career.
Welcome back here on this day of giving. I am joined now by Bree Morgan from the class of 2026.
Yes.
So, for those who have tuned in before, they may recognize you. You're a returning guest.
Yes.
Here at the desk. So, for anyone new here, why don't you share a little about yourself and what all you do here at BC?
Oh,
You're
wow.
very involved.
I am. So, again, my name's Bree, like you said. I'm a senior, I'm a psych major, and a leadership and coaching minor. I'm on our women's track and field team. I'm a student ambassador. I'm part of C. I'm part of BSA. I'm part of FCA. Probably another club I don't even know of right now. I'm everywhere.
You are very involved. There's no denying that one. But your time at BC, it's might be drawn to a close here soon. Just sorry, but what do you have any plans for what's next for you?
Oh wow, definitely grad school and getting my master's is just where we're at, and we're currently looking at a few options. We might come back home. Who knows?
Hey, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just saying it. I said it to Chris earlier. He's like, "Oh, you're not scaring me." I'm like, "Look, I was in the same boat a couple years ago. I understand. It's not always fun, but it's exciting too. It's a new challenge as well.
It is.
And I might be a little biased. I did graduate from here, but I feel like it does. You do get set up pretty well with the connections you build here.
Oh yeah.
To help with that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So as one of your many roles, as we just discussed, on campus, you conduct tours for a lot of our prospective students when they visit. What's something that stands out to you about that experience, and how do campus enhancements change that tour?
So for the first half of that question, just getting to meet new people. And then in my years of doing tours here, like I've seen some of those people on campus, like going to classes, and they've came up to me and are like, "You're the reason why I came here." And I'm just like, "Oh, that touched my heart." But for the second part of that question, for campus enhancement, it's a big deal because we get to show students the new stuff at Bridgewater that they get to enjoy, and that the stuff that's here for them it's for a reason. It's to help them grow and help them learn as a person, but also academically as well. So I think it's really nice to get them to show them the new enhancements and also like the new buildings. Bowman, for example, I love showing Bowman off because it's like that modern chic style. It's also, I'm a little biased because it's my building for my major.
You know what? Trying to think here. You know what? Do you have anything else to add?
Anything else to add? If you are hesitant to donate, okay, I say donate, do it. You are giving back to a culture, and you're bringing in, you're doing something that's bigger than what you think. You're helping a student out that probably has never been helped out before. You're contributing to their academics and athletic career as well. So donate, don't hesitate, hit that red button.
I couldn't have said it better.
Yes.
Thank you, Bree.
You're welcome.
All right. We'll be back here on the live stream. Welcome back to the live stream. I am here with probably the newest member of the campus community here, head women's flag football coach, Brittany Jackson, or as you tell us to call you, BJ. So, Coach, thanks for joining us. And, you know, you're leading the launch of a women's flag football program here, and it's something new for sure. And what excites you most about starting this new program?
Well, first off, thank you for having me. The biggest thing that excites me is the chance to build a strong foundation based off the vision of women's flag football that I have. I'm thankful for the administration to believe in that vision for me and let me able to do it. But the best thing and the most thing that excites me is able just to build something long for these young ladies to be able to play, and for these young ladies that I'm about to bring into this game and to this school to play, grow, and be part of something here at Bridgewater.
What does it mean to build something from the ground up here at Bridgewater?
It's truly an honor and a blessing to be truthful with you. I've been playing this game since I was 10, and I was told that I wasn't supposed to play it, let alone be good at it. So, like, being able to build something from the ground up for these young ladies, it gives them the opportunity to play college and yet beyond that without paying to play football, period.
So what is your vision for this program? And you're getting ready to start something, but what's your vision for it in these first couple of years here?
First 2 years, I want to say I'm just looking to build a strong foundation with student athletes that I'm trying to bring in here, and they have to be just committed to work hard, develop, compete at a high level, because this is college football. So I just want to be able to build a program based on sisterhood, discipline, accountability, dedication, teamwork, and fun, while putting us in a position to win now and years to come.
When can we expect to learn more about the program and see you next?
Oh, whenever I'm given the opportunity to. Like, I would love to talk about this program. I love to talk about football, flag football at that. I'm here on campus if anyone is interested. My office is the House 120 house, right there next to Campus Police. And you can also follow us on Instagram at Bridgewater Flag Football. So just stay with me.
Yeah, it is a brand new social media page, so please go and follow it. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you.
And you weren't lying when you said you like to talk about flag football. You were very passionate about it.
Yes.
So if you want to learn more about the game, you know where to find her. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Go Eagles.
What I'm most proud of here is the fact that our faculty here, regardless of departments, are all interested in connecting students with that out-of-classroom experience. And sometimes that involves connecting them with pieces of equipment. Sometimes that involves connecting them with their discipline, taking them to a conference. I think where funding for us becomes really important is just being able to provide those kinds of experiences. And it's a great way for students to understand, not just understand science, but understand how science gets done, because they actually get to do it. And that's something that I think goes beyond the classroom. This is what we hear over and over from employers. They're going to ask, not what your GPA was, not what classes you took. They're going to ask you, what's the last project that you worked on, and what was the excitement of doing that project? The idea here is that we want to provide opportunities that allow students to speak to that. That's fundamentally what the engineering program is all about. Fundamentally, that's what the research experience over the summer, that's what that's all about. It's giving that kind of experience that students can talk to an employer about what they're excited about, what they got excited about learning on their own, not learning in a classroom, but what they got excited about learning on their own. And then how did it turn out? What happened? Whatever they learned from that process about themselves and problem solving, I mean, that's going to pay dividends regardless of what they do. I think there's growth in every program that we see. And I think the fantastic thing is that our faculty are focused on that. They're not focused on simply teaching their classes. They want to serve their students. They want the best experience possible for their students. And I'm proud of everything we do here, but I'm proud of my faculty in particular, making the experience about something else beyond the classroom. And that's learning in community. We're all part of this, and we all play a part of this. So that's what makes this place special.
Welcome back here on this 10th annual Day of Giving that we're calling One Day Every Eagle. Now joining me is Vice President for the Office of Institutional Advancement, Meg Reiner. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I've been looking forward to this.
So, how do gifts made today directly impact students in the Bridgewater experience?
Great question. All gifts made to Bridgewater College, all philanthropic gifts, have a direct and very real impact on every facet of the student experience. On June 30th, we wrapped up our very successful Connections campaign, and we actually raised $36.7 million for the college, and it included included 3 areas of emphasis. The first is capital projects, one of which we are sitting on right now, Rebecca Quad, and also Bowman Hall renovation was huge. Donors also supported our Eagle Fund, current use scholarships, and then teaching and learning initiatives as well, which supports the research experience at Bridgewater and study abroad and also internships. All of these initiatives directly impact our students.
So what are some of the areas where donor support might make the biggest difference?
That's a hard question because every area, all of our priorities directly make a difference on our students' lives. But right now, our very top initiatives would be the Eagle Fund, current use scholarships, and also a new initiative that we just launched recently, the Storied Halls Fund, which supports ongoing campus upgrades across campus. As I mentioned, we've finished successful capital projects recently, including Bowman Hall, even the 4 Learning Commons. And so Storied Halls addresses those smaller upgrades across campus. It could be a classroom that needs to be reinvented and turned into a much needed lab space. And so we're really proud of that. And we've already raised $100,000 since the fund launch. So we're excited about those 2 initiatives.
For someone considering a gift today, how would you describe the impact of participation, no matter the size of the gift?
Yes. I love that today is about coming together and everybody making a gift, no matter the size. It makes an impact. We find that often our students begin to support the college when they're on campus before they even graduate, and then continue that support every year thereafter. We have one alumna from the class of 1950 who has given for 76 consecutive years. It's amazing. And we have countless other stories like that as well. So we're grateful for our alumni support.
Can you talk about some of the challenges in matching opportunities today? I know there's a lot of them, but can you talk about a few of them?
Yes, and I hope everybody's following along on the website as challenges are being unlocked rapidly. We're having some great success on the day. And what I love about the challenges is they span every area of the college, from academics with the Dean's Challenge, and also athletics. We have the Swinging for the Fences Challenge for softball, and Eagle Fund challenges, and even the class of 2026 raising money for Ernie to get fit. So we are thrilled with the success of the challenges to date, and I can't wait to see where we are.
All right. You want to do some rapid fire questions?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. What's your favorite place on campus?
The 4 Learning Commons, and sometimes I can't even find a seat to sit in there because our students love it so much.
I can personally attest to that one as a student and now as a member of the staff here.
Packed.
Oh, yeah. All right. Speaking of the FLC, what's your go-to drink from Smitty's?
Hot green tea.
Okay. Favorite time of year on campus?
Definitely fall, and in particular homecoming. I love it when we welcome thousands of alumni back to Bridgewater's campus and we can all celebrate and reminisce together. And please mark your calendars for homecoming this year, October 24th weekend.
Something recent you're proud of or excited about?
Gosh, there is so much to be excited about. And right today, I would say that I am proud of our Office of Institutional Advancement team, our campus partners, for a great day of giving. And Tyler, Tammy, and Kai have done a great job. And I am also proud of our hundreds and hundreds of alumni who have supported us today.
And what's something you're looking forward to?
Something I'm looking forward to in the near term, commencement, May 2nd. It's one of the most joyous days on campus of the year, of course. And then longer term, I am looking forward to continuing our quest to broadening our base of support for the college and also engagement and just those many connections.
So for those watching right now, what would you ask them to do in this moment?
Gosh, I would ask them to reflect on their time at Bridgewater College and what means the most to them from their experience, their memories, their friendships, their connections with professors, and if they feel moved to make a gift of any amount to the college, we would be so grateful. And I also want to say thank you so much for the hundreds of people who have already supported us. I think we're nearing our goal. Donor number goal. We're over 800, I believe.
Okay, I know Tyler's been very excited.
Yeah,
very excited. We talked to him before lunch. He was very excited.
It's been a great day, and we are so honored to have all of your support. Thank you so much.
All righty, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All righty, we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the One Day Every Eagle live stream here. It's our 10th annual Day of Giving. I am now joined by head women's basketball coach Stephanie Flamini. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. There was a weird pause.
There was a weird pause. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about your team here. And how would you describe the culture of women's basketball here at Bridgewater?
Yeah, I mean I would describe it as a winning culture, one that the expectations are high, but we also have fun, and the team is a family-like atmosphere. You know, everyone gets along pretty well for the most part, and they do a lot of activities together. And it doesn't seem, you know, that it doesn't seem like it's a chore or a challenge to get through a season.
So, you know, you kind of talked about there's a long line of legacy here at Bridgewater with women's basketball specifically. You know, what has it meant to you to lead this program for the last couple of seasons?
Obviously, it's an honor following people like Laura Mapp and Coach Gene Willie, and you know, it's great to hear from them. You know, Coach Mapp has sent me emails almost every year after the season, and Coach Willie is at our tournament, and you know, checks in and is at most of our games. It just means a lot. It's a lot of pressure because you want to make sure you keep the winning going and keep them proud of the program. So, you know, but it's an honor. It's truly an honor, and I love the challenge.
So, you know, let's talk about this season a little bit. You know, you had some standout players, you know, on an already really strong team, you know, top to bottom. What was special about this year's team to you?
I think the way, you know, early on we had a significant player go down, and the way that we had to respond to that. You know, we had a lot of new kids, and I felt like our captains did a really great job of holding things together, holding things down, so we could continue to have a successful season that we planned on trying to have. So, you know, I think the kudos goes to the Riley, the Jay, the Jazz, and Jaden, because you know, even though Jazz was out, she still played a significant part in helping people succeed on the court. So I think the teamwork that occurred all around, and the you know, and the effort.
So what can we look forward to seeing next year with the program?
You know, next year you'll see a little more of a mixture, some new names probably standing out for us. Obviously Riley's gone and Jay's gone. So there'll be some people that will need to step up. It could be some new people. And then a few old people. You know, Jazz is back and Jaden's back, and you know, we look forward to seeing what they can do in their senior season. But I would probably predict some new kids, some new faces coming up and kind of you know, making up for the losses of Riley and Jay.
So, you know, shifting gears a little bit, it is Day of Giving. You know, how does support from alumni and fans and friends of the program impact the student-athlete experience for your student-athletes?
Well, I think, you know, it impacts us in that we can do a lot of team-building things that maybe we wouldn't be able to do if people didn't donate to our program. Helps us buy some new gear or uniforms, things that we need that make them feel good about themselves. And then obviously helps us to go on trips where they can get different cultural experiences and also play basketball games that are really important to our schedule. So, you know, it's super important.
So what would you ask alumni and supporters watching right now to do today to help support your program?
Yeah, I mean, donate. You know, no amount is too small. Anything that anybody can give to help us would be great. We you know, obviously we have a lot of great donors out there, and we hope that you know, you'll click the button today.
Hey, I've donated already today. If you haven't yet, there's still plenty of time. Day of Giving isn't just until 2 o'clock. You can just listen to me until 2 o'clock. But honestly, Day of Giving, it goes, all your impacts, no matter the size, they impact the student experience here, and we can't talk about it enough. But Coach, anything else to add?
No, just thank you to everyone that's donating to whatever program you're donating to, whatever educational program, whatever sports program. You know, it's much appreciated, and you know, of course, we appreciate you too. We appreciate you too.
All right, thank you, Coach. We'll be right back here on the Day of Giving live stream. Welcome back to the One Day Every Eagle live stream. I am now joined by head softball coach Megan Pleskovic. You guys are mid-season, I guess, to say the least here. You guys picked up 2 wins yesterday, and a pretty big milestone at that yesterday as well. Yes. And I'll let you touch on that. But what can you tell us about the team this year and what you've seen so far?
Yeah, it's just a really team-focused group. Everybody wants to contribute and do whatever they can to help us win and help us have a great season. Senior to freshman, everybody's been contributing, and it's just been awesome to see just our culture continue to evolve and grow, and that's been a big part of our success.
So, speaking of culture, when you're building that team culture, what do you emphasize on? What are some things you guys focus on?
Yeah, so our pillars are attitude, approach, intensity, and toughness, and we really try to focus on those pillars on how they relate to softball, but then also how they can apply them to their real life and just, academics, their future professions, their relationships, everything. So really dialing in on that.
So I'm going to shift gears a little bit. So you guys have some facility upgrades in the works.
Yes.
What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so we're looking to brick our backstop, extend the cement patio area in the seating area, and get a new backstop net. So just a full little facelift for the stadium. So.
And speaking of that, you all have the Swing for the Fences challenge. It's matching every gift to your program up to $15,000. What would it mean to you for donors to match that full $15,000 through their collective efforts?
It would be amazing. All of it would go towards that project and just really helping us elevate the aesthetics around the field, which then goes into recruiting and just an ultimate amazing game day experience. And we're really thankful for our donor, too, that has put up that match gift as well.
So, what can we expect, for the last 12 games left of the regular season for you all?
Expect us to fight. We've got some tough games left, and it's going to be good. I mean, we're locking it down on the mound and defensively, offensively, we're getting it done. We're finding ways to create runs and cause some chaos on the bases. So we know that we're never out of any fight, and no matter what the inning is, how many outs we have left, we always have a shot. So.
All right. Anything else to add?
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles. Could have said it better. All right. Thanks for joining us, Coach. We'll be right back here on the Day of Giving live stream. Welcome back to the One Day Every Eagle live stream. Thanks for joining us up to this point. I am now joined by the Dean of the Kaufman School, Dr. Phil Spickler. And, first, thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Sure. Happy to be here.
Yeah, for sure. And what can you share to us about the Kaufman School that makes it such a distinctive part of the Bridgewater experience?
Yeah, so this is the time of year where we celebrate a lot of student accomplishments, and so Aspire is going on right now. Many students in the Kaufman School have honors projects, independent research, even Aspire project. Martin and Treb Awards projects that they're talking about and showing off, and so it's really a neat time here for us to celebrate all that our students have accomplished.
So what excites you the most about the students and the faculty that you get to work with?
So I think right now it's sort of that what we're sort of beginning to see here is when our faculty and other industry partners start talking about how we can connect students with real-world experiences. I think we are starting to see how we can do that, maybe in sort of non-traditional ways, at least not the way that we've always thought about managing our business. So we see, starting to see faculty who are not doing labs, the traditional cookie-cutter sort of, here's a lab, here's some test tubes, a pipette, and sort of run through the lab, and students gain some skills that way. But what we're starting to see is faculty bringing an experience, like a research experience, into the lab and giving students that kind of real-world practice during a traditional lab time where they might be doing a longitudinal study that students will contribute to over several years. And so we're starting to see faculty embed sort of the research part of it, the hands-on work with technology, actually do some real science studying in laboratories. The engineering program is doing, it's a project-based curriculum where we're trying to develop the skills and the habits of students so that they have a project portfolio when they're done. And we just started, this is kind of exciting for us, we just started a wildlife rehabilitation seminar where students are actually working with turtles at the moment and rehabilitating them, learning about animal nutrition, and doing that in a course, and they're working with the Wildlife Center of Virginia. So it's that kind of practical experience that we're bringing here on campus. And our students don't have to leave campus grounds to have that kind of experience. So it's kind of an exciting time to see this start to develop.
So, it is Day of Giving, or One Day Every Eagle, as we're rebranding it here in our 10th anniversary of this. How can supporters join you in your office in any unique challenges or opportunities that you guys have?
Right. So right now, obviously, natural science, we certainly have needs for equipment, but what we are starting to see here is that students are experiencing the full science circle, where they get to not only do the science, but they get to travel to a conference, or they get to travel to meet with collaborators at a different institution and do their research there. And so there's ways that we can support students in that cycle, doing that work, not necessarily with equipment only, but with travel funds so that they can get off campus and experience science as it's done somewhere else. There's all kinds of opportunities there. In fact, there were 3 groups of students who have just returned from conferences, and they're presenting their research there. So these kinds of significant, really, really impactful kinds of experiences are only possible through the smaller donations, ones that allow students to travel off campus and have the support to actually go and experience these things.
What does it mean to your students, to your students and even to yourself and your other faculty members when alumni and donors show their support in such a visible way?
I think it's really impactful and extremely important for students to understand that the work that they're doing here is supported by those that have gone before them. And it's interesting to talk to alumni because we sometimes walk through the stories of sort of how things have changed over the years. Only a few decades ago, there were very few students who were involved in research. And now we have students who are involved in research, and we have the alumni who have gone through that experience who realize the importance of that experience for our students of today. So I think it's really, really important for our students that are here now to have the experiences that they have supported by the alumni of years past.
So what's on the horizon for the Kauffman School?
It's one of those things, I say this very frequently. We're always going to be chasing technology, and so technology is going to lead us in ways that we probably don't understand at the moment. But certainly, what I mentioned before of bringing the real world experiences to campus, that's going to take a tremendous effort on our part. We're going to have to be current, not only in the science, not only in the engineering and all of the current technology, but we're also going to have to think about how we help students introduce them to the new technology. So it's kind of an exciting time. There's a lot of new still to happen. We don't really yet know how AI is going to impact science and what we do in the natural sciences, but I think that's still to come, and that's probably not too distant in the future.
Anything else to add?
No, just it's for those of you who are watching this who aren't on campus, this is like the quintessential spring day here on Bridgewater campus.
For sure.
Green, sun is out. It is just a little bit of a chill, but it's warm, and there's a lot happening here that kind of puts a buzz. It gives the air a little bit more warmth just because of the busyness that we're experiencing here. So
for sure.
Anyway, I think that about sums it up. Really appreciate the alumni tuning in, the alumni supporting us and what we do here. And thanks for having me.
Yep. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
All righty. We will be back here shortly on the Day of Giving live stream. Welcome back to the live stream. It is One Day Every Eagle, or it's the 10th anniversary of our Day of Giving. I have the privilege to be joined once again by Bridgewater College President Dr. David Bushman. Dr. Bushman, what can you say about this day and what it means and, how it's went so far?
No, I appreciate that, Leighton. First of all, for everybody who's watched this today, you've seen faculty and staff, you've seen coaches, you've seen Leighton all day. Leighton, thank you for this. You've done a great job. This is a unique opportunity, I think, to bring campus into your homes, wherever you are watching us. And it's a beautiful day today, and I know you wish you were here. I think all of us wish you were here, too. Day of Giving and One Day Every Eagle is one chance where we can all join hands. And we could make gifts any day of the year, right? You could visit campus any day. You can interact with our students year-round. But this is one day when we can all participate together. I think we can reinforce the connections that we've made. You've gotten a sense out there, if you've watched today, you've gotten a sense of all the different ways that your support can enhance, can make the experience of our students richer. I think about this experience. People, they'll say all the time, the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, and I know that's true for our student experience. When our students leave Bridgewater, the whole of their experience is much greater than just the sum of the individual parts, the things, the courses they took, the games they played, all those activities, they're all important. You can be a part today with Day of Giving of helping making sure those parts are there so that the sum really is greater than all of those pieces put together. And I'll tell you this, we talk about connections a lot. I mentioned that this morning. Connections is a theme we think about on campus all the time. In less than a month, the graduating class of 2026 is going to walk across the stage, and I'm going to have the privilege of handing them a diploma. And in that one moment, in that 10 seconds, I get to represent all of the hard work, the sacrifice, the joy, the tears, all of it that went into the 4 years leading up to that moment. And in that moment, I get to represent the families, the friends, and the donors, the people who made that experience possible. Be a part of that experience. Share in the success and the joy of our graduating class, no matter what year it is they graduate. When they walk across that stage, I will be representing you as well with those students. You make this possible. Don't ever forget it. So if you've already given today, One Day Every Eagle, if you've already contributed, if you've been a part of it, thank you so much. If you haven't yet, you still have time. It is a whole day. It's a whole 24 hours. So we're going to go off. The live stream's going to end soon. But the opportunities to give will not. And know that you are making a difference in the lives of individual students with every gift you make, no matter the size and no matter the destination, whether it's to the athletics program, to an academic program. Whatever it is that moves you, that you choose to support, know that that gift is instrumental in making this experience so special. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Leighton. It was great to bring campus into your homes a little bit today. Thank you for being a part of One Day Every Eagle.
And don't forget, you can still donate at bridgewater.edu/Day of Giving. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Dr. Bushman. Thanks to Joshua Smith for pushing the buttons all day long. Thanks for tuning in, and it's never too late to give. No, it doesn't matter the size of the gift. It always helps the Bridgewater College student experience. Thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you soon.